Welcome to China Horse Business, the one and only podcast focusing on the booming horse market in China. Bringing to you by two experts of Chinese equine industry, Zhenqiang and Wang, from Shanghai and Hong Kong, introducing China to the world. Hi Jojo, the Tokyo Olympics is on!
Yes, finally! The dressage competition held over the weekends in Tokyo Heritage Zone was exciting. The team medal will be decided tomorrow and the individual medal will be won on Wednesday.
Yes, I watched it and it was so exciting. Which team do you go for?
I personally like Great Britain. They had a very strong team formed by Charlotte Dujardin, Cara Hester and Charlotte Fry. And myself is a big fan of Charlotte Dujardin. Charlotte and her former world number one partner Verlegro currently still hold the world record score in all three Grand Prix dressage tests.
Yes, and Germany also sends their dream team with Isabel Welth, Jessica von Bredel, and Dorothy Snyder. Since only one groom per team is allowed to fly with the horses in an 80-plus hours flight, Isabel Welth volunteered to stay with the fly with her horses. She's definitely one of the top horsewomen in the world who prefers to keep her feet firmly on the ground.
That's probably why Isabel is ranking number one dressage rider in the world.
In the next 2 weeks, the China team will be in the eventing and jumping team competition. I'm really looking forward to it.
Today in China news, let's talk about Zhenqiang. He is a hot topic here currently.
Okay, we know he's a jumping rider from China team, but what's so special about him?
For the Tokyo Olympics, China sent 431 athletes, including 24 Olympic champions, to Tokyo Olympic Games. The delegation including 298 female athletes and 133 male athletes, competing in 225 events at the game. Zhenqiang, at 52 years old from the Chinese equestrian team, is the oldest Chinese athlete featured at the game.
30 years after the 2008 Beijing Olympics, Zhenqiang is again representing China to compete in the jumping discipline. But this time, coming along with him, his son Li Yaofeng is also qualified for the Tokyo Olympics. This father and son team has become a good story in the history of Chinese Olympics.
Indeed, Zhenqiang is one of the first riders who first participates in the Olympic equestrian discipline in Chinese history. He started riding when he was 27. At age of 41, China has hosted the Beijing Olympics and he participated in the equestrian jumping discipline. With nearly 30 years of riding experience, he truly brought horses into his life.
Surely he did, but on the other hand, Zhenqiang was suffer from waist problems for many years. After he was qualified for the Tokyo Olympics, he did a surgery. Then, with his steel plate on the back, he guided the young riders to participate in the national championship.
Yes, in 2019, Li qualified for the Olympic Games in Europe while he already suffered from severe lumbar disease. His entire left leg to be out of control due to his dislocated lumbar spine compressed on the nerves, and he could only sleep on one side and could not stand for more than 5 minutes. As a result, he conducted his lumbar surgery in December in the same year.
Oh, it must be a difficult decision for him right before the Olympics.
Of course, he decided to consult the doctor after qualifying for the Olympics. However, the doctor said he can execute the surgery, but there is no guarantee that he could ride again. Especially in the Olympics game requires a lot of significant movements. As the Olympics is getting closer, he decided to get the surgery done as soon as possible. But touch wood, the surgery was a great success. After the surgery, although his response was slower, but his waist was no longer numb. And the luckiest part for him was the postponement of the Tokyo Olympic.
Why was that?
Because the postponement of the Olympics allowed him to buy more time for recovery. Let's wish him the best for the Olympic competition next week.
For sure. Today in our China Club section, we are going to introduce an epic live horse show 千古马颂. It is China's first panoramic horse show from Mongolia on stage since 2014. The story deduces the journey of Mongolian encounter with the horses, from meeting the first time, approaching the horses, accompany along with the horses, and how Mongolian and horses going through thick and thin together.
Until today, the show already had a record of over 350 performances, with 330,000 audience and catered tourists from more than 20 countries. In addition, over 500 media worldwide reported Qiangu horse show. One of the show highlights is the 12-paired wolf. These wolves were from the crew of the movie Wolf Totem and appear in the scene of the migration of Mongolian and horses.
The show plays with a unique inner Mongolian characteristic, with deep integration of culture and tourism. If visitor wants to better understand the inner Mongolian grassland culture, especially horse heritage, this 1-hour 千古马颂 horse show may be something for you.
With the horse show topic today's China Story session, I have invited my good friend for the interview. He is the head coach and the lead male actor from 千古马颂 horse show, ZHANG Guoqiang. Let's see how he will answer our classic 7 questions.
For the first question, what's his name and profession?
His name is ZHANG Guoqiang. He is from Inner Mongolia. He is the head coach and lead male actors in the show.
When and how ZHANG Guoqiang got involved in equine industry and became the head coach and lead male actor?
He started his career by entering the Inner Mongolia equestrian show team in 2006. In the first 3 years, he mainly participating in the opening ceremony of equestrian competition shows. From 2009 to 2011, he built up a lot of experience and contacts by acting different horse shows within the country. In 2011 to 2015, he comes into contact with TV shooting and hold the post of horse director or act as a stuntman for the main character in many famous movies that you can name. And in 2015, he joined the team of 千古马颂 horse show, which led to the breakthrough of his career.
For the next question, why is horse special for you? What's his answer?
He said his Chinese zodiac is horse. And since the first time he interacted with a horse, he fell in love with them.
What's his most memorable horsey moment?
He came across with a foal who lost his mother, and Guoqiang rides the foal in hand, and they become very close friends ever since.
And who's his idol?
Mario Lorash. China has very few coaches who work on natural horsemanship, and Guoqiang must do a lot of research and learn from overseas coaches through articles and videos. Mario are very strong on both equestrian and natural horsemanship background, and at the same time, their work experience were very similar. Guoqiang realized he has a lot to learn from him, and Mario became his idol.
And what he will recommend us as a must-have item in stable?
A whip.
Wait, Jojo, are you sure he said that?
Yes, a whip. Guoqiang said because he works a lot on natural horsemanship and he needs a whip to indicate and instruct the horses to do particular movements, and the whip will help him better communicate.
Okay, for the next question, what's your goal in the next 5 years?
Guoqiang said he's working very hard every day and hope he will be like Mario one day. And in 5 years' time, he aims to train his team to become the best stunt team in China.
Wow, what an interesting professional. We don't really have many horsemen from this kind of background in China.
Yes, but China horse business will continue to bring the most up-to-date topics from China horse industry. You may also personally meet this professional in our monthly webinar, China Horse Business Live.
Alright, Jojo, I will need to watch the Olympics. Talk to you again next week.
Oh, me too. See you next week. Bye.
This podcast is co-hosted by Zhenqiang and Jojo Wang. powered by Wonder Horse, a business solution provider focusing on Chinese equine market and a bespoke equine community in China.
In addition to this weekly podcast, we launch a monthly webinar called China Horse Business Live. The objective is to connect international stakeholders with Chinese decision makers. 4 to 5 speakers will introduce their activity, products, surveys, and any other topics related to the equine industry within 10 minutes in English. This webinar is open to all Chinese audience, especially targeting equestrian clubs owner, professionals, rider, officials, and suppliers.
This is a perfect opportunity for you to introduce your brand, products, and services to real Chinese audience and interact with them. You may find your partner, distributor, or clients in these webinars.
If you are interested in making a speech in the webinar, please subscribe to our annual package, Business Pass, which will allow you to speak once per semester in the webinar, along with many other premium benefits.
A lower-cost annual package, Connect Plus, is also available with some useful benefits. Please check them out on our website, www.wonder-horse.com/podcast, and in the show note of this podcast.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. You can subscribe it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and any podcast channel by searching the name of our program, China Horse Business.
We are also looking forward to meeting you in China Horse Business Live, a monthly webinar connecting international stakeholders with Chinese decision makers.
Please feel free to leave us a comment and recommend our program to your friends and colleagues.
Spare the world and stay tuned.